Obituaries presentation of Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg, 256-245-4361. Your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home is Curtis & Son Funeral Home. Burials and cremations, Curtis & Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361. Also brought to you by Earlene's Flowers and More, Talladega Highway in Sylacauga. Say it with flowers from Earlene's Flowers and More. In obituary news this morning, Laverne Ruiz, age 86, died at her residence on Thursday. Curtis & Son Funeral Home will announce the arrangements. Mr. Robert Bubba Kleckler, age 75, died at Coosa Valley Medical Center on Thursday. Curtis & Son Funeral Home announcing. Mr. William Cecil Crenshaw, Jr., age 95 of Sylacauga, died June 2nd at his residence. Funeral service will be Saturday at 11 a.m. from Wesley Chapel United Methodist Church. That's Wesley Chapel United Methodist Church in Sylacauga. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. The Reverend Bob Owens and Reverend Dorothy Scott will officiate. The body will lie in state at the church from 10 until 11 on Saturday. And visitation is tonight at Curtis & Son North from 5:30 until 8 p.m. In lieu of flowers, donation can be made to the Wesley Chapel United Methodist Church in memory of Mr. Crenshaw. Online condolences may be given at www.curtisondsonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for David Wayne Russo, age 61 of Childersburg, will be Saturday, June the 4th at 1 p.m. from Curtis & Son North. Burial in the Poplar Springs Cemetery. Visitation is Saturday prior to the service from 11 to 1 at the North Chapel of Curtis & Son Funeral Home. Online condolences at curtisondsonfh.com. Curtis & Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Funeral service for Mr. James Richard Jim Drury, age 73 of Rockford, is Saturday at 10 from Providence Baptist Church. Reverend Paul Shaw and Travis Thornton officiating. Burial in the Providence Baptist Church Cemetery with veterans honors provided by the Alexander City Veterans Honor Guard. The family receiving friends today from 5 until 8 o'clock at the funeral home. Mr. Drury died May 31st at his residence. He was a captain in the U.S. Army and served in Vietnam in 1970 and 1971 as a pilot in the Cobra helicopter gunship as platoon leader. In lieu of flowers, the family requests that contribution be made to the Providence Baptist Church Youth Fund, 2950 Coosa County Road 459, Rockford, Alabama, 35136. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home, Alexander City, directing. Funeral service for Mr. David Mickey Fayol, age 57 of Equality, is today at 2 p.m. from Equality Methodist Church with the Reverends Gene Langford and Mark Frudini officiating. Burial in the Equality Methodist Church Cemetery. The family receiving friends today at the church, 12:30 until 1:30. Mr. Fayol died on Tuesday, May 31st at UAB in Birmingham. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com. Radley Funeral Home, directing. Funeral service for Mr. Doyle E. Smith, age 72, of Denham Springs, Louisiana, will be today at 11 o'clock from the Chapel of Radley Smith Funeral Home. Reverend Gary Bentley officiating. Burial in the Marble City Cemetery. Mr. Smith died Sunday, May 29th at Our Lady of the Lake Hospital in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Memorial messages can be sent to the family at radleysmith.com. Radley Smith Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. Graveside service for Mary Ann Silman Cook, age 72, is 11:30 Saturday at Kingston Baptist Church Cemetery. The Reverend Byron Wilson, the pastor, and the Reverend Jerry Jones officiating. Online condolences at terrysmortuary.com. Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary in Talladega, Alabama will direct those services. That's a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis & Son Funeral Home, 256-245-4361, your Dignity Memorial Funeral Home. Burials and cremations, that's Curtis & Son Funeral Home, the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280, and the North Chapel in Sylacauga on Highway 21. It's Curtis & Son Funeral Home. And brought to you by Earlene's Flowers and More. Say it with flowers from Earlene's Flowers and More, Talladega Highway, 256-245-5235.